Get ready, ladies. This is a step-by-step tutorial on how I do my makeup with my Saint 3D One Compact Makeup System. I'm first putting on my face primer. This is by Supergoop, and I really love the way it feels on my skin. Now I'm going in with my 3D brush, and this is by Saint, and I dipped into my contour. And I'm just putting that right underneath of my cheekbones just to kind of lift those cheekbones up. It's so important to use contour when you have mature skin. I placed a little bit at my hairline there and then around my jaw to kind of conceal a couple of my double chins that I have. Next, I flip my brush over and I'm going to go into my main highlight, which is AKA your foundation in traditional makeup. And I'm just going all around where I did not place that contour. And it really evens out your skin tone, and it just gives, just a beautiful glow to your skin. These creams are really, really nice on the skin. Next, I'm going into my color correcting shade. This is called Mango, and I use this under my eyes primarily because I have a lot of blues and purples underneath of there, and I'm just trying to conceal that as much as possible. I do have some broken capillaries around my nose, so I'm going around my nose a little bit with that. Next, I'm going back into my contour, and I'm going to do a little nose contour. It's so simple and easy. And then I take a little bit of that contour right on my bottom lip, just to kind of give a little illusion of a fuller lip. And then I'm going to go into my brightening highlight. Now I'm using my blend brush. This is a light to medium coverage brush. And I'm just popping my brightening highlight, or my concealer is what you would call it in traditional makeup. I'm putting that in the far inner corners and the outer corners of my eyes, and then on my chin and my Cupid's bow, and then right between those contour lines, just to kind of complete that nose contour there. Next, I'm going back to my 3D brush, and I'm blending in that contour, kind of melting it in with that main highlight, my main foundation shade. And next, I'm going to go in with my Perfector sponge. This is by Saint. This is the softest beauty blender you will ever find. Trust me. And if you have mature skin, you definitely need the beauty blender. Next, I'm going to go in with my lip and cheek, and I'm using two shades. I'm starting off with Sandstone, and then I'm using Saffron. And these two shades together are so good. I love them. I'm using my blend brush to blend that lip and cheek in. And because, they're called lip and cheeks, they double as a lipstick and a blush, which is really cool. And you can put them on your eyes as eyeshadow as well. Next, I'm going to go back with my Perfector sponge and just kind of blend out any harsh lines. I'm going to set my makeup with this Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and I primarily just put that under my eyes to prevent creasing, and my makeup will stay the whole day, no problems. I'm going around my smile lines on my chin, and then a little bit right there in the middle of my forehead because I have like an oily T-zone. So I'm just kind of setting with that translucent powder. Next, I'm going to go in and do some brows. I'm using the line brush. This is by Saint, and it has a nice angled end on one side, and then it has a spoolie on the other. So I just dip it into my shadow contour. Again, your whole face is in one compact, so you don't have to go into a makeup bag and look for your next product. Everything is right at your fingertips. So I'm just, like I said, dipping my brush into my shadow contour, and I'm lining my brows. I do the bottom, and then I line the top, and then I fill in between those lines. And this is a really pretty cool tone contour, and it looks really nice on most hair colors and skin colors. Next, I'm going to go back into that pretty saffron that I put on my cheeks, and I'm popping that on my lips. And then I like to go over top of that with the saffron. First I put sandstone, then I put saffron. and it creates this really pretty wine shade. It looks gorgeous on the lips. Now I'm taking my Maybelline ColorSensational lip liner. This is in Rich Chocolate, and I'm just further defining my lips, kind of creating a nice shape with that lip liner. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Lifter Gloss. This is in the shade Crystal. I love this stuff. It's got hyaluronic acid in it, and it gives a little bit of a plumping effect to your lips. Next, I'm going to go in with my blush and bronzer brush. This is also by Saint, and I have the fluffy side of the brush, and I just swirled it into my Heat Waves bronzer and my Glow Illuminator. And I'm just giving myself a nice bronzy, warm glow. And I'm going to go down my neck with that because I don't want to have a white neck with a beautiful glowing face. So don't skip this step. And that bronzer is just, oh, I cannot do my makeup without my bronzer. I love the bronzer. So again, I'm going to go in with my Perfector and just kind of dab any harsh lines. And now I'm going to go in with my eyeshadow brush. This is also by Saint, and I'm going to do a little eye look here. I'm first starting out with Valencia. This is a nice, warm, creamy shade. It's really a nice shade for a transition in the crease. And I put a little bit of that on the bottom lash line as well. And next I'm going to go into Zion. This is a really pretty, kind of like a brick shade, and it looks great on all eye colors. And I'm just placing that in the crease slightly below where I put that Valencia, that first shade. And then I'm using my brush cleaning tile in between to kind of wipe off when I transition between light and dark shades. Blending that a little bit more. Now I'm taking some of that Zion on the bottom, kind of focusing that on the outer third of my bottom lash line. When you bring your colors in the top to the bottom, it really makes a more cohesive eye look. Now I'm going into Drift. This is a beautiful shade that I use almost every day when I do my eyeshadows. I put a little bit of that on my lid, and then I also put some in my inner corners to kind of open my eyes. I put some underneath my brow bone to lift that brow and kind of give my eye a more wide open look. I love Drift. And this is the Multitasker brush, by the way, that I'm using by Saint. Next, I'm going to go into this really warm shade called Revival. And it has a little bit of like a brick red tint to it. It's just gorgeous. If you want to create some depth and dimension on the outer corners of your eyes, use a darker shade like this, Revival. It is so pretty. I take just a tiny bit of that on the bottom lash line as well, really just in the far outer corner. And this eyeshadow brush is so amazing because you can flip it over. You can use one side for blending and one side for more precise work. And there you go. Now I'm going to pop on my powder illuminator. I'm using Georgia here, and I'm using my blend brush again to place that on the high points of my cheek, like down the center of my nose. And then I take a little bit of that on the small side of that blend brush and put it on my Cupid's bow. And it just gives a nice glow to your face. Now I'm going to use my Saint setting spray. This stuff is amazing. I just give myself a good spritz with that at the end, let it cool. And there we go, our whole face, one compact. Thanks for watching.